Is brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, a Friday edition of the Lunchbox, a Kentucky Oaks Day edition of the Lunchbox, a Kentucky Derby Eve edition, and a Cinco de Mayo weekend. I am just brimming with enthusiasm and expectations, and I just can't contain myself. Jeff Defo de Forest, Tony Segreto, Mike Lubie Lubitz. We're on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group. It's over 150,000 on the group, and this is Kentucky Derby number 150. I think the numerology is pointing to number 15. What do you think about that?
Exactly.
That's brilliant deduction on your part. I'm sure the people out there that back that if it doesn't show up. But interesting you should mention that number because we talked to a couple of people that we have great respect for when it comes to Kentucky Derby handicapping, and they both, it was like Clockwork Orange. Your name was mentioned. They both mentioned the 15 as one of their choices.
Well, here's the angle, and I guess we'll do a deep dive later, but just very superficially, the reason I like the number 15, and I should know the name of it, but of course I'm busy eating my shrimp cocktail here. But one of the angles that I've noticed works a lot this year, Chad Brown, one of the best trainers in the business right now, whenever he has multiple horses in a race, always bet the higher priced one. So
that's true going back to the beginning of time.
Yeah. Well,
two horses, same trainer, always bet the one with the bigger price.
He's got one of the race favorites in Sierra Leone, the number 2, but he also has number 15, Domestic Product, which is he's training for his main principal owner, Seth Klarovich, who's a New York financier. And basically, this is a horse that I think won the Tampa Bay Derby, finished second in the Holy Bull here at Gulfstream, has been on the shelf, but has been working sharply. And I think, you never know. He's got Irad Ortiz Jr., the hottest jockey, the best jockey in the country.
I think Segreto could ride this horse to victory.
30 to 1.
I really do, yeah.
You're going to be getting...
I'm going to send it in on this horse.
You're going to get about 5 to 2 on Sierra Leone. You're going to get 30 to 1, it says, morning line on Domestic Product.
Sierra Leone, though, it's got a fight through 16. How many horses?
Something 20 horses. Going to be in that
so 19
tough
other
rail
two
position.
Spot.
But he's a closer. All right, we'll do the deep dive later. Meanwhile, let's get started. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know if Joe Beige is in town or if he's going to be joining us. I don't know.
Shouldn't Joe be at the Derby helping them out there?
Well,
I think he is. They don't have a connection to the Derby, right?
They don't have any kind of official connection to the Derby. What happens is he usually goes up in advance of the Preakness Stakes, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow, the second leg of the Triple Crown. And because that is one of the same ownership tracks as Gulfstream Park, it's the I don't even know what they call it now, Magna Racing, Stronach Group, but they own Pimlico as well as Gulfstream. Joe usually goes up there, part of an advance team. I think the whole PR staff went up there as well because I went to go into the press office here to pick up our usual, full pile of racing forms and programs.
Your research materials.
And the place was locked solid.
Oh, I thought they asked to see some ID this time.
No, and Ron Nicoletti, the track handicapper, friend of the show, he was out doing his handicapping bit in the paddock
area.
You
stole his form?
No. The office was locked shut. I couldn't get in there, so I had to beg my brother, Burl Mayo, who sells racing forms and other items.
Your brother fired.
And basically, he had I had to beg him for a comp.
Job, yeah. Okay.
Well, he's got to mark it down as media, and then I'm going to go down afterwards and see if anybody's in the office. But nobody wants to hear this. But, I did provide you with your Saturday form as per your contract.
But it didn't come without you being riddled with Jewish guilt about the whole thing, about how you put your brother's job in a jackpot. All because we're too cheap to pay for our racing.
If I had any money in my pocket, all the money in my pocket is going towards the weekly tip here of the great staff here at Ten Palms. Meanwhile, I'm ordering light.
That?
I have no idea what this is. I had a shrimp cocktail and some asparagus, but it came decorated with this kind of lattice type structure. I don't know if it's a lattice of lettuce. Oh, there it is. It's crumbled. I don't know if
But
it's
is it-
seaweed or
But
kelp.
they'll do that
Tony
with like
broke it.
Parmesan cheese, right? So like,
Is it? I'm gonna nibble
would it
on
be
it.
green with Parmesan cheese? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to eat that, Mike.
You're
I don't-
definitely supposed to eat it. But
I don't
it's
think
a
you're
flavoring
supposed
of
to
some
eat
kind.
it.
Joe will be with us at 1:30.
It was
So
part
when
of
Joe-
the screen there that they had with the plastic leaves.
When Joe comes, you can ask Joe what that material is.
That
I'm sure
might
he's
have been for
involved in the
decorative
decision.
purposes only.
But I thought everything on a plate is supposed to be edible, is what you said.
Well, you have hit upon something that I always thought to be true, but sometimes, all right, we
talk
won't
to Joe.
get. We'll talk to Joe about that if Joe's in town.
Yeah, he's coming at 1:30.
He
I
is.
just talked to him. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
good. Okay, I'm glad somebody is aware of what's happening because
Yes.
I'm completely out of my mind today because I'm giddy with excitement and
Exactly.
anticipation. They've been running since 10:30 in
You
the
notice he
morning.
has that little hop when he's excited.
How about you, Defo? Have you
My
been
husky.
swinging for the fences since the first race at Churchill at 10:30 this morning?
No, I didn't even realize that was happening. I walked in here and I saw they were already on the 5th race at Churchill Downs, and I thought, okay, that's right. They do this ridiculously early hours on these big stakes days. A very festive time. You would love to be out there. I've been there 2 times for the Derby, and the Kentucky Oaks is not quite as spectacular, but sometimes you have horses that are
Don't
more
say
highly.
that. You're going to
can make
anger
money.
Jim Sarney.
You can make
I'm
money.
saying
You can
Oaks
make money.
Day,
Oaks Day is
and
great.
the Oaks is every bit as spectacular as the
Well,
Kentucky
yes,
Derby because
it
we
is.
believe in equality. The Phillies.
I
You've
believe
been
in
influenced
real-
by Sarni too much. Although he
reality.
did look good yesterday. He really did. I
Sarni
mean,
looked great. It was great to see him.
If somebody, if it was Papillon and he came, he stuck his head out and said, "How do I look?" You look great, kid.
You look good.
But-
Why are you feuding with him? Why can't you be nice?
I only like, I just like pushing his button because
But
he's so serious about
He's
everything.
in the hospital.
No, he's
It
out.
doesn't matter. He's out. No,
He's
he's
out.
fine. He's looking
He's
better than we
okay.
are at this point.
And
He
he's a
wasn't
lunatic.
just in the hospital, as Defo said yesterday. He did a residency there.
Yeah.
Like Britney Spears and
It was like
Yeah.
Celine Dion, yeah.
as did our friend Andy
It's like
Man.
He was
Beyonce
performing
was
at-
there.
at,
Oh, look out, Louie! You got some more stuff coming.
He was
in.
performing in
Yes,
front of the nurses.
Felt
Well,
like
we got
his table
sushi.
was
What?
a little empty,
I,
so
God, I love
we got,
Oh, look at
we
that,
got the
man.
dragon
He
Look at
knows
roll
I'm trying to take it easy,
to
and
look
he
a little.
orders
Yeah, but these are lighter
half
things.
the menu.
Always
This
good
is
stuff.
Yes,
man.
the light-
sushi, and it is 954 Burger
I'm
Month.
gonna snag
Oh,
one
look
of
at
those.
that.
I
Those
figured
look
you'd be
good.
the one person
Those
to
look
not
great.
get one, so
I'm
of
gonna,
course
I'm,
you
no,
order
I'm
one
gonna
to get
take
one.
one of the buns off of it. And go
Tony's big
breakfast.
on
You're gonna ruin one.
They
snacking
look
on the
very
sushi.
juicy and good,
Yes.
and you know me, I
It's
can't
954
resist.
Burger Month, so we needed a burger representation. They do great sliders here at Gulfstream Park, so
Yes, and we've got the pompano is the fish of the day. Pompano is a fish that I used to see on menus all the time when I first moved down
It
here.
was a grunt fish for many
Was it?
years.
Is it? But it's
I
not
wonder.
even a snapper. I thought
Damn.
for many years that it was a variant of the snapper species. Apparently, it's its own thing.
Yeah.
When you say gruntfish, it's not a bottom fish. It's a very tasty, mild white
Gruntfish
fish.
doesn't sound particularly appetizing, right? I'll have the gruntfish. I like that Frances. You don't really hear
That's
that too
what they-
often. Yeah.
They called it that. I was 50, like 1955.
Okay,
They just
I think this is kind of. It looks very
that's a
expertly
really
prepared.
good fish.
I'm going to dive in now. It's got the skin on, but I'm just going for a little bit of the moist flesh. That's really good.
yeah, they do a nice
It
job.
looks
here.
good.
Yeah, they do a great job here at 10 Palms. We're going to get into the contest in a minute.
Yeah.
Defo, do you have any thoughts to set up the whole weekend of racing and other activities?
Oh, it's going to be brilliant. I mean, you can't go wrong. This is what, without question,
This is the best weekend. For
single
horses.
greatest wagering opportunity that you
Yes.
can have. You could be betting on sports. You could be betting over unders. You could be betting on football, hockey, who's going to score a goal, shots on goal, all this different stuff that's out there now. There's no better opportunity to make money, a giant score, for what would be a reasonable investment than the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
20 variables in terms of horses that could be in the money. Do you have the guts? And this is the question Lubie and I have been asking. Do you have the guts to say, rhymes with duck, the favorites, both of them? Throw them out of your equation.
Chuck,
and
chuck the favorites.
Chuck
That's
the
it.
favorites.
Chuck the
Okay, that's
favorites.
a milder version of what I was thinking. But
Toss them out.
nonetheless, I
Just
mean, if
toss
you
them
have the
out.
guts to do that and you can hit, the pricing, the payoff is enormous. I mean, you talk about overlay would be a term where you get way more money than you were supposed to on a certain configuration of odds. This is the ultimate example of it, and it's crazy. And you have a lot of sucker money in the pools. Not to say that people are suckers for attempting it, but there are going to be many people that never even saw a horse race betting
What-
money into this race. So it's great.
Now, look, we've seen our share of big racing days here. They have the Pegasus Invitational in January. They have the Florida
Florida
Derby
Derby.
at the end of March. as a horse player, I love Breeders' Cup Day because, again, full fields of international star horses. But there is something about the tradition, the history, and just the way the whole country pays attention to horse racing for those 2 minutes. Going to be about 7 o'clock tomorrow evening on NBC. And it's just the pageantry, 150 years, you can't beat it.
It's the Super Bowl of racing.
Yeah.
It is a historic place, and the oldest sporting event in the world is tomorrow.
Is it? I thought it would be the Open
American
Championship, but you might be right. I think the Kentucky Derby might be older than the British Open golf tournament. I'll have to go to the fact-checking department during the first break. But
My daughter's been working on the Kentucky Derby. Insane.
Yeah,
Everything is put on
producer with
hold.
NBC Sports.
Yeah.
And does she have any picks? Did you talk the race with her yet, or not yet?
When I get home.
Okay, we'll see if we get any secret info or intel. I tried to get some intel out of the horse whisperer, our friend Caitlin Bradar, but apparently she's not talking to me after I texted her while she was on the set
that was an
yesterday.
extremely bad move, man. No, really. I mean, I know you didn't mean anything by it.
Well, I helped her out with a fact because they showed a picture of this kind of young boy that was dressed in full jockey silks in the paddock area of Churchill Downs, and she was speculating that she thought it might be Safi Joseph's son because he always dresses
does
up.
that, yeah.
He always does that. We see him up here in 10 Palms. And when she speculated, it said, I think, and I wouldn't be surprised. And I immediately recognized him. So I texted him, yes, that is Safi Joseph's son.
Oh, good for you.
But then she had this like flying saucer on her head.
But that's fashionable.
I know.
yeah.
Derby
He didn't
week.
say anything negative.
Derby means hats.
She
And-
knows him enough to know what he was saying.
But I just then after she acknowledged my text, and then I said, "Nice hat." LOL. And,
you didn't have had the LOL.
That was a giant
Yeah.
mistake.
yeah, so I'll never get a pick from her again, even though she's the horse whisperer and might know a few things about a few things. But
Yeah. Way to go, Mayo. Way to step in it again.
Way to step
I mean, wow.
that's what I specialize in. It's just
You couldn't have said that is an absolutely lovely hat.
Stunning.
I mean,
Yeah, lovely hat.
but Lubie, we were telling a story before the show got going here. When Lubie and I were out at the Kentucky Derby, we did a radio show in the backstretch.
Yep.
We couldn't figure out how to get on the air. We finally, I don't know what kind of fugazi
Some
method
other
we
guy
used.
gave us
Yeah,
equipment.
I mean, we were holding like wires together on the backstretch there. So Leslie Bissett, a lovely and talented one, runs Betsy Johnson over to our broadcast location to be interviewed. And she's got like what looked to me like a live ladybug on her head.
It was like massive.
So here's Betsy Johnson, this like classic designer that everybody like worships. It'd be like insulting some master chef.
yeah.
And I say to her, "Nice hat."
On air.
And you should have seen the looks. I mean, because she naturally had a PR contingent, and
There was like a
she
whole
was being
crowd with her.
shadowed by like 16 high fashion
There was like
models.
models wearing her
And
like,
very
attire.
foo-foo types of people that were like, trying to make sure that everything was okay with her. And I insult her right away in Mayo-like fashion.
Do you think everybody that like goes to the Derby, whether it's Oaks Day today, tomorrow, the Derby Day, that's wearing those hats, that they know it's ridiculous?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
they
yeah,
know it's
for sure.
ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Kind of the same way that everybody pretends that the
They
mint
know
julep
it's
is a
ridiculous.
good
Well,
or
no one
drinkable
pretends
drink.
that. Actually, that's one thing that in the middle of Kentucky at the Derby, they will openly tell you it's a horrendous drink. Like
Yeah.
no one's like, yum, mint, and whiskey.
It
Like
tastes-
no one ever says that at all. It's a horrendous drink.
No, it tastes like Aqua Velva.
It's
It's
horrendous.
just a horrible,
No, it's a horrendous
horrible concoction. But
You
The
tasted
hats,
Aquavelva
they're aware.
before.
What you would think Aquavella would taste like, yeah.
That used to be a thing in the Army. They used to strain
To get out,
Aquavelva through
get
bread.
drunk. Yeah.
yeah,
I had a friend that was a little bit of an alcoholic that
a little bit.
You either
You
are
gotta
or
be
you aren't.
productive. You gotta be creative.
You are or you
used to
aren't.
strain alcohol,
That's-
Aquavelva through bread
that's-
and get the alcohol, residue.
And then it's like a little bit of the degenerates. The problem with these 2 days is like, will you have any money left by the
Yeah.
time 6:57
That's the
p.m.
thing.
tomorrow rolls
No
around?
way.
Because the undercard, even though
No, you want to bet the Derby before you do anything
Yeah,
else.
right, the
Yeah.
regular people out there, they only focus on the Derby, but all of us, we're looking at the undercard.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
great
It's
races.
races all
and
day.
It's a beautiful thing.
Look, the Oaks actually is a really good day. It's not the Derby. I don't know if Sarnia cares or not, but
14 horses.
but it's a fun, like if you're out there, when we first got there, I
Great,
remember
yeah, yeah.
Jersey made a hit like right away. That was where Defo and I
So-
were at odds on a race where he had a lot more money into it than I
Oh,
did.
geez, yeah.
And that
I
was
mean,
Oaks. That was Oaks
yeah.
Day. So you can have have some fun on Oaks Day. It's
One-
not like it's not a great day.
There's a photo that's going to be decided by. I mean, like you needed the Zapruder Film Plus to figure out who won this race. I think I have it. I'm usually a pretty good judge of this stuff. I'm standing with Lubie. Lubie's got $5 on a 5-2 shot. And I'm about to collect 3,000. My horse got up
And
in
he's
the
cheering
photo.
for his little $7.
Well, the numbers go up. Everybody's speculating. You know how it goes. No, the 11 had it. No, the 7.
No, this was really
His
close.
number goes up, and he's standing next to me, and he goes, I'm about to put a bullet in my head because that $3,000 would have made me for the weekend. And Louis, I didn't mind that he picked up like
That was like
$14
early
or
Oaks
whatever.
Yeah,
But
look, that's
yeah.
the thrill of horse racing. That if you
Hey,
win,
you know what?
you
It's
are
your tough
entitled to
luck.
be
Exactly.
excited.
If you're smart, you
well,
can
look at
enjoy
the
both
scene there,
days.
and they redid
Well-
the paddock at Churchill Downs. This is the first year of this.
Yeah.
and
You
Wow.
they made
reconfigured
it like
paddock.
spectacular
Little-
for viewing. Supposedly.
Little bit sloppy today. Some of the early turf races
Yeah, it
have been
is.
taken off. It's
So
a
fun.
yielding turf
Derby's so
course for later in the day. And then we also got a full nice cards here at Gulfstream
You
today.
know
and
what? They do
tomorrow.
a great job with the catering and the food that's on the scene there. No matter what level you're at, whether you're in like some fancy schmancy location with a buffet with a lot of upscale stuff, or even if you're at the concession stands, and that can't be easy to do when you have a normal crowd of about 7,000 on a Tuesday afternoon versus 150,000 showing up. For
Yeah,
the,
but
for the
they're-
Derby.
They talked about the parties.
They're
Oh
no
my-
Joe Beja, though. That's
No,
for
no.
sure.
Well,
That man
it's
is the
nothing like
master of
what, we get
hospitality.
here.
Well, I would imagine he's a consultant. No, that's Churchill Downs. That
Right.
might be the
Different
other
tracks,
tracks,
with
different
Pimlico-
companies.
Pimlico.
But
Baltimore.
we're going to be talking to Joe Beja, and he'll be talking
Shortly.
about all the exciting happenings here this weekend
Yeah, that's
and
gonna be a great-
beyond.
great
Also
time.
for the Preakness in a couple of minutes. Hey, let's want to take a first break and tease the
Sure.
contest. Let's do
Yes.
that. We'll space it out this
How
week.
about a clue? Something. I mean,
No, we're
give us
going to
a
do
clue.
that after the break. And first, before we go to the break, I do want to just talk about our friends at, well, let's do a quick hit. Our newest sponsors, a twofer, Casa D'Angelo. When you talk about quality, just superior service and just atmosphere that can't be beat, and food that is top notch, interesting, creative. You're talking about Casa D'Angelo, the finest in Italian cuisine. They've got 3 locations, and now they are an official lunchbox sponsor, which makes
Yeah.
me happy because whenever people are like saying, "Hey, I got my visiting in-laws in town," or it's my my daughter's birthday, that is the place to go. It's one of the best restaurants in South Florida, and there's 3 of them, and each of them are impeccable. They all have that same level of quality and
Same
service. One in Fort Lauderdale, the original, one in Aventura, and one in Boca Raton. That's Casa D'Angelo. Don't miss it. And then we've got J&C Oyster in Hollywood. They're also new to the lunchbox. They're new in general. They just opened up less than a month ago. And we're going to be out there this Wednesday for a happy hour edition. And we're going to speak to the owner, Caesar, along with the chef, Raheem.
I'm
He
excited
is
to meet Raheem and if Monica's available.
Monica,
'cause you talked
super
a lot about
talented
them.
chefs. They cut their teeth at some of Miami's finest restaurant. Now they're bringing that same quality, upscale, creative cuisine to downtown Hollywood at 2035 Harrison Street. They're open for dinner from Wednesday through Sunday with happy hour every day. Go in there, jncoyster.com, and tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, we're going to get to the contest, man. I see a lot of, I wouldn't call it hate mail, but
That's
all right.
You know,
not
talk about
particularly
it.
flattering comments being aimed at Mayo.
Let's stretch it out.
And anyways, the contest. So
And
we're
we'll
coming back with that in a moment here at 10 Pops.
From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back at 10 Palms at Gulfstream. It's Oaks Day, it's Derby Eve, it's Cinco de Mayo on Sunday. We'll be doing a special live broadcast Sunday at noon from the Taco Craft at Plantation Walk with Mark Falsetto. He's jacked up for the whole Cinco de Mayo festivities. I guess, you know, for if you're going to be operating a Mexican or Tex-Mex place, Cinco de Mayo is like New Year's Eve and Christmas. And
What's their Derby? I mean, I guess.
All rolled into one. We're going to be, I'm sure, drinking a couple of good tequilas that day. Defo, you are excused. You don't have to come out and work on a Sunday.
I mean, it's so tempting, yeah.
You are more than welcome.
I'm a big fan of Cinco de Mayo.
You're more than welcome to come. I just know that you are kind of religious and might be in church.
Church unlikely.
That
would be the last place. I might be in the Our Lady of Paramutual.
Yes,
that's possible.
There we go. All right, so it is time without further. Well, you know what? I am going to have some further ado. Defo, you're pulling a me today. You're carrying yourself away from here in the middle of this glorious Kentucky oak card, and you're going to a restaurant? What's happening?
What is the deal?
I was supposed to meet this guy a couple of weeks ago. Just started doing some work with an organization that he's kind of running the marketing of. And so we had to blow it off a couple of weeks ago. And we had arranged to meet today. So I'm going to have to bail out of here right after the show and run to a place that this guy swears is like great. I hadn't even heard of it.
Is it new? It's an Italian place in Pompano?
A new place in Pompano, and it looks like it's just south of Atlantic on Federal Highway, like where the
you gonna eat there?
Where the Brews Room is.
What's it called? Bed Bath and Beyond? Or
it's actually close. It's called Betamia.
Betamia.
Interesting. That's a nice name.
That sounds
So,
like my day at Gulfstream. I'm
Yeah.
betting
Yeah.
Mia.
We'll see.
all
Yeah,
day.
yeah. I don't know what I'll be able to consume there. I don't want to be insulting and not eat anything. But after chowing down here at the 10 Palms, it's not going to be easy to eat again. I'm unless I could pull a Mayo. Mayo could train me in this.
Yeah.
Where he
Mayo's
goes out to
help.
like several dinners one after another,
Those days are over, my friend. Although I had a nice big dinner last
including
night.
this thing last night.
We'll
which
save
was,
that till
crazy.
later. That's a very
Lubie
hoity-toity.
I don't
was
know why I'm
acting
so
like he
enraged by
paid
it.
the check today. He is
I
enraged
am so enraged
I was
by this.
invited
by
by
the rip-off prices.
I was invited to a friends and family soft opening, and it actually had nothing to do with me getting the invite. It was Val's sister who does some
There you
consulting
go.
work with this restaurant group in Miami, and they're about to open this new, very luxury, high-end steakhouse called Lafayette Steakhouse.
For Lubie's sake, suggest to Val's sister that they lower the prices.
Well, what I
think
did
that'll
was
happen.
last night, and we got invited, and I didn't have to luckily pay, but they did give us the printed menus with the prices, and I kept snapping pictures and sending it
You had to know
Lubie
what you were doing
throughout the meal.
Look great. I mean,
And
it really did.
he was just getting triggered the whole
Why
time.
bother me?
And I eventually told Val, I said, I'm sending these. The Lubie's just kind of losing his mind.
Well, because we go
over
to
the
places with all
$240.
Yeah, with all- look,
the
'cause
porterhouse for two.
with higher prices or different levels of prices and different types of ingredients. And doing the show, I understand you have to pay for quality. Tom Tanazzini is 100% right. But when you see different places has the same thing, and one has it for 140 and one has it for 230.
Yeah,
And it's the
look,
same
they had
thing.
some outrageous luxury items like a chicken smothered in truffles for $140, a appetizer of fried
I hope
chicken
there's
with
a pile of
caviar
truffles on that chicken.
for $59, some like house-made fettuccine with caviar for $63. I mean, all these kind of luxury things that you expect, but they're trying to knock off Salt Bay from his pedestal because it's just a few blocks away from the guy who does the sprinkles of salt and
Oh, yeah.
charges $1,000 for the gold leaf
that is
on
the gold leaf
top,
place.
and I guess a lot of people got hoodwinked there. They didn't realize they were going to be charged like an extra $1,000. But this place, quality. I mean,
You said it was good.
I had a boneless ribeye steak that it's above prime meat. It was like kind of one of these like
Wow.
cattles that originally was in Japan. I think they call it a koshi.
So it's not even Kobe.
But it's not Kobe beef, but it's like American. Maybe it's American Kobe. I didn't get the exact description, but it was the most tender, delicious piece of steak that I've had anywhere in a steakhouse or whatever in a long time. So for me, it was worth the
least it was
money
good.
because I didn't spend it. It was zero, but
Yeah.
that's the Mike Mayo way. But it wasn't me. For once, people were tripping over themselves and falling over with Val's sister, who knew
Nice.
everybody there. I was just the anonymous schnook from the
There you go.
954, so it was refreshing for a change. But Lafayette Steakhouse opening May 8th. So, all right, let's get to the contest before
Yes.
Joe gets here. And we're going old school for Tony Segreto. It is we're going to have a double horse race handicapping proposition this week. So here we go. It's time for the weekly 10 Palm Sunday brunch giveaway. You email the answer to this week's restaurant trivia questions along with your horse selections. And again, it's going to be 2 races. Number 1 is the Gulfstream 11th race, is the English Channel Stakes, and it's numbers 1 through 11. And then as the tiebreaker, you got to pick, believe it or not, the Kentucky Derby winner. That's the 12th race on tomorrow's card at Churchill Downs. It's going to be a full field of 20, but the numbers are 1 through 21. But don't send me number 9. You'll be disqualified because we already know that's a scratch.
Yep.
So again, 1 through 21, but no number 9. And you send all those 3 components to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, Derby Day, May 4th. Okay, again, the Gulfstream race is numbers 1 through 11. It's the English Channel Stakes for 3-year-olds going a mile on the turf course.
There's a big hunch play in that race.
Yeah. We got, what was
Diana
that?
Nyad in the English Channel Stakes.
Oh, really?
I thought that was in the
No,
Caribbean,
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, she
That's
did
in the
English
Havana
Channel.
Stakes, I think,
Yeah.
if they had one of those.
Well, it's a wide open race. There's a horse named Prevent that's going for,
There you go.
anyway,
Dave wants its
1
favorite.
through 11. You can look it up. You guys know how to do it. And then, of course, 1 through, the Derby we'll talk
1
more
through
about in a
21,
minute.
not 9.
All right, let's go.
You have to pick that race and the Derby?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because usually lately we're doing the tiebreaker with a playoff game, but this week, obviously, with our audience, we got to make them pick the Derby.
Obviously.
So that's the
Pick the Derby.
tiebreaker. So first, if you pick the
Why don't you have
Gulfstream
them pick a
winner,
hockey game or something?
you advance to the Kentucky Derby aspect of it, And if if nobody has the Derby winner, it's whoever has the highest finishing horse that will win the tiebreaker. And if multiple people have that, then we'll pick their names out of a hat on Sunday at Taco Craft, because that's our next
So
show.
what would be one of the clues?
Well, here we go.
Here we go.
For this week's contest, Defo, in honor of the Kentucky Derby, was salute a possibly bygone Miami institution that has probably never served a mint julep. Okay? That's not even a clue. That's just
not
a
a
setup.
clue. Oh, wow.
Here we go. You might know this place. You've probably been there because you're
All
a
right,
music
let's
guy.
see, yeah.
This Miami establishment opened in 1979 and is best known as a grungy music venue that also served food and drink, mainly drink, and is named for a former British wartime prime minister, not the racetrack where the Kentucky Derby is contested.
Oh, wow. All right.
You got it?
I don't know if I have it.
I'm trying to
I
think of
had
British
some
prime
idea at
ministers.
first, but
Wartime British prime minister,
yeah.
Okay.
and not the racetrack where the Kentucky Derby is contested.
Yes, so not
Okay.
that prime minister. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, but okay.
So what
Number
prime
two.
minister-
Are they known for fried chicken?
Do you have it? Do you have
yeah.
a clue? Do you have
Yeah.
an inkling? All right. Musical acts who have performed here include Iggy Pop, Marilyn Manson, Dick Dale, and numerous local bands. Number three, the venue's limited food offerings included fish and chips, but it has been in a weird limbo since the pandemic began in 2020, with various ongoing court battles relating to a management company that subleased the property and allegedly stopped paying rent. Its future is very unknown, although I guess the overriding ownership insists that it's not closed for good. Their website says we're not closed for good. We're coming back, but meanwhile, it's been 4 years and counting. Good luck. Does anybody have any clue and I
threw me
imagine
way
you've
off.
been
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I'm sure I have, but
It's
right
not
now I have
Tobacco
no idea.
Road.
That was on.
Oh, that's
I was
what I
thinking
was
that
thinking.
originally, Tobacco
No,
Road.
what does that have to do
But
with
Tobacco Road probably goes back prior to '79.
Okay,
Yeah.
people don't overcomplicate things. What's the name of the don't say it out loud. What's the name of the track where the Kentucky Derby is run?
No, but I thought you were
Kentucky
going
owns.
for like fried
You
chicken or
said
something.
not that.
Huh?
So now I'm really
Yeah.
confused. I
I
thought it
said-
was not
You've
the
confused the
track
entire
of
audience.
that
I mean,
they run the Derby. I thought you were. So
I
you're trying
said
to
it's
say
never
not that.
served a mint julep. I said it is named for a British wartime prime minister, not the racetrack where the Kentucky Derby is contested.
Okay. So
But it's a synonym.
it's the same name.
It's
okay.
a synonym.
Okay,
people.
so there you go. I don't.
I guess
it
I'm
doesn't help me at all, but I just wanted to help
Defo
them.
seems totally.
yeah, no
I'm
idea.
totally
but
lost. Yeah,
Looks like I'm gonna have to pay for the brunch since I was not deemed ineligible because I have no idea what the hell that is.
Oh, and we got to congratulate last week's winner of the contest, Sheldon G.
Sheldon G.
No,
the
you
boy
did it
Sheldon
all
G.
right. He says he was coming to
Vegas-
Florida.
Our
I think he's
man
gonna come
from
this weekend.
Vegas is in town because I notified him last Saturday
Oh,
night
good. He's going to take advantage of this?
because he was the one. Me and Defo nailed that Celtics Heat game 3 where we said Celtics by 20.
Yeah.
Sheldon was the closest of the people that were in the running in the contest because there were like 6 of them. Some of them said Celtics by 5, some by 7. Sheldon had
Yeah, he thought they'd
17.
kick their ass.
17.
Wow.
Which
Celtics
they
by
did. Wow,
17.
by 20. So.
Nice.
So he was closest, and he basically wins for the first time. And I'm very
Oh,
glad
man,
because
that's
he's
good.
been a
You talk about a
He's
loyal,
loyal,
dedicated
loyal,
So
fan.
freaking Las Vegas.
loyal
he was.
feuder who lives in Vegas but makes occasional forays. And I notified him, and he said, "That's great because I happen to be here through the Derby.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm going to be up here at 10 Palms on Derby Day, and now I'm going to come out for a free brunch on Sunday."
Nice. That's it.
And I hope to meet him possibly tomorrow. I might be out here a little bit, but Sheldon G, congrats again.
Nice job, Sheldon.
So Joe Beja must have got pulled into a meeting,
He'll be here
and
shortly, so we'll take a
I
break.
guess
Well,
This
let's
happens
join
when
us.
you're in management.
yeah,
yes.
that's all right.
When Tony was in management over
Hey,
there at NBC.
Joe, you got a minute? We got to
Me.
go over those
Yeah.
crab cake
Exactly, yeah.
recipes again
Yeah.
for Pimlico.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you mean you got 17 comps last Sunday
yeah.
with Mayo? Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah.
24.
Whatever it was.
24.
Yeah, but there were 32 paying, boss. I
People
tell
pay-
you, it was
exactly.
good.
Yeah. They almost got their money back.
Yeah.
It was good.
Well, you know, it's all
32.
good. We love 10 Palms for Sunday brunch, and we also love Batch, New Southern Kitchen and Tap. If you're looking for Derby options besides coming out here to the track tomorrow where there's going to be all kinds of festivities, you can maybe also make a stop off and check out Batch. They have a great weekend brunch.
Great brunch.
And they've got things like chicken and waffles. They've dropped biscuits with either the jam or the sausage gravy.
They have all kinds of whiskey drinks that don't involve mint.
Yes, they will be offering mint juleps for the Derby. They have Derby fever out there because of their whole collection
Kentucky
of
bourbon,
Kentucky
whiskey.
bourbons
Batch.
and whiskeys, and they have that whole southern theme going, and they also are going to be celebrating watching the race and having a little bit of a contest. If you pick the trifecta, top 3 finishers in the Derby, you'll be eligible to win $1,000. Go there, 525 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale. They've got free parking in the garage on that side street right in those apartment buildings. Very easy to get in there. 4 hours of free parking. You'll have a great time. Beautiful drinks, great food, unbelievable service. They take great care of everybody. Can't wait to see Kevin again on Thursday. We'll be in there for our monthly visit.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, tell him the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, we're coming back with more great stuff. How did you rate the fish there, Mike Mayo?
The fish is excellent.
Pompano, yeah, it's good. The
Very
sliders
nice.
look great. Tony's
Fresh.
got his salad. He downed that. And we're coming back with more. Ketucky Oaks, if you haven't revealed your pick yet, Mike Mayo. Unbelievable. Back with more in
I
a
have
moment.
not, and I've gotten knocked out of the.
When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. A sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We're at 10 Palms. We just did the contest, I think, in record time. It didn't take me that long to explain the whole thing
Well,
this week.
that may be the issue because Don Jaffe's like, I missed the clues. Joanne was like, don't worry, they were confusing.
You're gonna post them on the Let's Eat
Might be
group
the worst ever, right?
right after the
I
show.
didn't know what
Going
the hell you
back
were
to the
talking
early
about.
days of the contest.
Why don't you read them again?
It's a music
Don't read
club.
them
He
again.
used to spend weeks writing
Don't
these
read
clues
them
out,
again.
and then
Today was a
he'd
little
get
bit of
all
a rush
flustered
job.
delivering them. Yeah.
I had
It's
a
fine,
bunch
just
of things
put
I
it
was
in
getting
words
done.
on
The
the
bottom
Lunchbox
line
page,
is,
on the
okay,
Let's See Stuff
it's a
page.
music club / bar / had some food, but was in Little Haiti, of all places, on
Interesting.
Miami
Oh,
Avenue.
wow.
And again, the name of the place, just think of a British prime minister or the track where they run the Kentucky
Yeah.
Derby, and then
Right.
you have the name of it.
Well, that
There you
part's
go.
okay. Yeah.
But I'm
There you go.
saying,
I don't recognize it from that, though.
have you been there?
No, I don't think so.
And
I mean,
again-
Little Haiti, what are the chances of running down there to
You're a
catch him?
music, you're
Yeah.
a music aficionado, and it was one of the
Yes.
great music venues in South Florida for years.
I mean,
40
knowing
years.
the name of this, dignitary from England, and of course the name of the track in Louisville, I still don't. I don't recognize the place. Do you,
Never
Tony?
heard- it
Tony
had-
knows everything. Tony's been everywhere.
Yeah,
What are you
especially
talking
Miami.
about?
One of
He
their
is Mr. Miami. You're talking.
one of their taglines was, "It's sort of an English pub." So that was.
You sure this place is in this city?
I know about it because I think Val used to go there all the time. She went to high school nearby, and I don't know if she either worked there at some point, but she
High school
has
nearby.
Yeah,
Is she at Notre
Curly?
Dame or something?
No, where's Bishop Curly? Is there-
Curly's a boys' school.
Well,
Well,
I don't know.
Now,
No,
So Curly is on 50.
that's where it's not co-ed. Did they have a female component?
Well, now they do. Yeah.
I mean, she's younger than when you
She's
went to high
younger
school,
than when you
so-
started.
Oh,
yeah, Tony.
Yeah, that
She
you
didn't
got me a little
start in
scared.
1946.
It's like, am I in the
exactly.
crying game? Is something.
Mayo
It's
likes
Ron
them all.
DeSantis.
Yeah.
Mayo
but
has
Curly,
a thing.
but Curly is.
All right, let's just let this one drop like a hot potato. I mean, I got knocked out of the freaking pick 3 at
Stop
Churchill.
crying. It's early in the day.
I can't catch it. I can't catch a cold. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm saving it all up for. And this is. Let's get back into some handicapping. Joe Beja must have gotten pulled into a meeting. He might have already seen
No,
the
he
beginning
might
of
have
the
been
show.
watching the beginning of the show.
And
That's what I was
hopped an
thinking.
early flight to Baltimore. For
I
the
can't
practice
save
and
these guys.
just
Jeez.
got out of Dodge. But
Yeah.
we will mention that among the activities tomorrow here at Gulfstream, they're having a Derby enhanced buffet here at 10 Palms.
Oh,
I believe
nice.
the
Sir.
price is $75 per
Mint
person.
tulips.
They will
Yeah,
have
unlimited.
them,
Yeah.
but
And
they're aware of what
they
the
are
taste
also
of that is.
having a down near the track apron, near the finish line. One of those tents is also kind of like a Kentucky Derby celebration, where for $20 you'll get a mint julep
Woo.
and a brisket. A brisket plate with 2 sides
Oh,
for
nice.
$20, and you can bet and watch all the races down there. They'll have bars going. So that's among the options here at Gulfstream. And again, they
And
do
you'll
that,
be able to bet the Derby from here.
Yes.
of course. And
You
it's
bet all
going
the
to be,
tracks.
and not just betting the Derby. They have a full card of live racing with 2 stakes races. Again, they have the English
Nice.
Channel for the 3-year-old
There he is.
Colts, and then they have
I know,
another
I like
race
it up.
for the 3-year-old
You can
fillies.
talk derby with them.
So it's going to be a good full day of racing. And here he is, right on cue. I guess, I don't know, was he jumping, like considering jumping off a ledge because of the Vegas Knights?
He is the
He was
nattiest.
gloating that they were up 2-0, stealing 2 road games last week at this time. And
Look
then
at
they've
this guy.
dropped 3 straight. Yeah, look at him. He's so dapper. Yeah, when-
Dapper.
Yeah,
Dapper.
Dapper.
Thank you.
Dapper Joe.
No,
How
I'm
are
on
you?
a New York Knicks high right
Okay.
now.
Oh, there you go.
So,
These are your Knicks, man.
you
The
know,
Knicks, they go through.
I'll go through my night's withdrawals at 10 o'clock tonight.
How many guys were coached by Jay Wright? 3?
Yes, those
3 that
Villanova,
were
that
Villanova guys,
nucleus of
Yeah,
the
3 of
Villanova
them.
championship
Yeah.
squad.
It was
is
pretty
now-
great to eliminate Philadelphia right there in this building where you
Yeah.
see the Villanova
Right.
Oh, yeah,
banners to eliminate
yeah,
the
yeah,
Sixers,
yeah.
where they had the banners
All
hanging.
right. So I don't mean to harsh you mellow. Fine, the Knicks won and they beat a marginal opponent in the first round. Although Embiid had a good series,
You
but
played well.
once
did.
again,
One
falls
leg,
short.
Bell's palsy.
Yeah,
He
it's
played well.
he was a gamer. He was a pro.
Yeah.
But what happened? They're up 2-0 coming back home,
Oof.
Vegas, and
And
they
then they
dropped
s-
3 straight.
And then they
tonight.
switched goalies.
Oh.
I'm like, oh my God, that's like a panic move in my eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I know Adon Hill was the guy last year and took them all the way. You have a hot goalie, you ride a hot goalie right to the cup,
Yeah.
But now Logan Thompson was the hot goalie going into the final few games of the season. And then all of a sudden now he dropped a 2 at home and they switched to Adon Hill and he dropped 1. And
Are you
Here
giving
we
up,
are.
or are you? I mean, you were a little bit suspect on
No,
their
heading into the
chances
series,
heading
yeah.
into the postseason.
to
but
me, they didn't finish the season strong with the injuries or whatever kind of excuses you want to say. They weren't solid enough all year. I mean, they kind of got into the playoffs as the second wild card. I mean, definitely weren't as strong as, say, Florida has been,
Mhm.
but so I
It's-
didn't have my hopes up when they started off strong with those 2 games in Dallas. I'm like, oh, maybe they flipped the switch.
All right. Well, that'll
I'm
be
not
continued
surprised.
tonight.
You never
We'll
know.
see
Can
what
you
will
tell us-
happen. Yeah,
Hockey
I was going to ask.
Tell us what this is.
What this was garnishing the shrimp cocktail that I got, and
my
If
God.
he's lost, I don't
I'm
know if that's a
stumped.
good or a
I've
bad
I
thing.
called it a
I've had a
lattice.
day.
He
a
tried to
lattice
eat it, but he
of
doesn't know if he should eat it or
freeze-dried
not.
lettuce or something. But no, I don't know what it was.
Let me double check again. I'm so sorry.
I took a bite.
We were
And
trying to stump you. We figured if anyone
You
would
stumped
know,
me
he'd
because
Joe.
I'm having one of those days. So
Yeah.
I'm having one of them too, Joe.
But
he
they
ate
won't-
it anyway.
You won't be having one.
We just went through full disclosure. We just went through. We're switching reservation systems,
Oh, jeez.
and the switch was supposed to start Monday,
Oh, God.
and someone flipped it on Wednesday.
Oh no!
So I had
not
some-
before the derby.
So now I had some reservations that came up in our system for tomorrow, and now we're like redoing the floor plan, and
oh
it's
no!
it's like a scene from Goodfellas. Okay, we're gonna walk in a table, and we're gonna drop it here, and I mean, we're calling everybody that has 2 top reservations and seeing, are you interested in being on a rail? Are you interested in being at the bar? 'Cause
Oh god!
we still have bar seats available. We still have rail seats available, and they're great rail seats. The counters overlooking the track. You're right there at the finish line.
And you
It's
said
great.
You're at
So-
about 800 or 900 for tomorrow.
We were at 964. Now we're at about
jeez.
1,050.
Oh, God.
Those late, it's like those late arriving ballots. Just boop,
They're just
somebody
coming
flipped
in.
the switch.
So,
Oh, no.
so I've been going back and forth with, my IT people and so forth. Going, you got to be kidding me! Who activated it?
Yeah,
Well, we don't know who
today of all
activated
days.
it. The widget was on the landing page. I said,
no.
well, who
Get
put
outta
the
here.
widget on the landing page? I mean, it is what it is.
Mystery gremlins.
We'll survive, and
All
I want to make sure we have happy guests
So
tomorrow.
again,
That's the number
any-
one thing. So
Anybody out there who is coming out to 10 Palms tomorrow, just be patient because they're trying their
Yeah,
best.
it's gonna
to-
be
it,
patient.
it'll be a great day at the track. I will promise you
Right.
that. The buffet is excellent. We do have a full buffet. We just are right now on a waiting list. I mean, you can always come to the track and ask at the door if anyone
Okay,
cancels
so
or
you
anything
can't
like that.
just show up at the
But
door.
I mean,
yeah,
more than likely you would be turned away. But if you're
Okay.
on the track and you're on the first floor and you want to come up and see what we have available, I wouldn't make the special trip and
okay.
Yeah.
promise you you're going to get in.
Meanwhile, though, I was telling
So
people back on the track apron or in the tent, you're going to have that
Correct.
$20 special, right?
So what we have going on is we also have we're launching our first watch party per se. That's not in 10 Palms because 10 Palms is $95 per person. And, we've enhanced the seafood display. We have an Asian stir fry station,
nice.
carving stations enhanced. So we've added some nice enhancements to the buffet for tomorrow and for the day itself. But we're doing a watch party from 3 to 7 out at South Beach Tent
Okay.
on the southern end
They
of the
call it
property.
South Beach.
I
yes,
know, kind
like
of a
it.
funny name, but the old name used to be Corona, so that kind of went by the side.
No,
It was sponsored. It was sponsored.
Yeah.
It was sponsored by Corona
Corona beer,
beer,
right.
And
Yes,
then of
and
course,
then
the
something
pandemic
happened.
comes.
the
Corona
Corona tent.
Yeah, and it was really bad. I mean, listen, full disclosure, and I'm not saying this in the wrong way, but literally, like the bartender that's out there, and she's amazing, was Asian.
Okay.
So I mean, the
Oh,
whole
no.
pandemic,
Just
Corona
didn't work.
name. I have an Asian
Well,
bartender. I'm like, it just didn't work out right,
That's-
But and they don't no longer sponsor us, so now we just called it South Beach because at one point it was still sand, and we put the tent out there, but now everything is paved. It's all concrete. It's covered. Brand new hurricane-proof tent. So
Nice.
watch party 3 to 7, live DJ, photo booth, games. We're gonna give little fascinator hats out. We'll do mint juleps in the copper mugs, not the souvenir glass.
Defo loves those.
And-
Make
yeah.
sure to save a couple
So
for him.
we're doing a good promotion with Angels Envy,
Nice.
and then we'll
Nice.
have a little barbecue station that for $20 you'll get your choice of pulled pork or brisket,
Oh, nice.
and then you'll get two
Two
sides,
sides.
which is mac and cheese and green
That's a good
beans,
deal.
Oh, nice.
and
On
a pi-
Derby
and-
Day.
and a
And
piece
you
of
get to watch the
cornbread.
Derby.
For
And you get to
$20.
watch the Derby. So we'll have live racing, I believe, till about 6:20.
Nice.
I think it's the final race, and then the Derby itself we expect to go off
7
around
o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
So I will
NBC
say, I know
was-
this weekend's going to be hectic and fantastic here. Last weekend was not hectic. It was fantastic. The taste of the track that Joe Beja and I'm sure your team's fantastic. So
Thank you.
I'm sure it's not all goes to you, but as someone who's been going to Gulfstream events for years, well before I think you were totally in charge of them and what they are now, I'm giving you the credit because it's 180. They were always a lot of fun, but this is now my second out of the last two. The tacos and tequila, did the Caribbean taste of the track. My in-laws are now locked in, so I have to have a running ticket for all these things because it was fantastic. I mean, the food was great.
Yeah.
The choices of rum drinks was fantastic. But again, it's funny. You're getting more people into these events, but it feels actually more intimate and more manageable because you've now moved it up to the massive Flamingo room
Correct.
where it's spread out. And on top of that, even when the tables are gone, you're great at bringing in more tables and more chairs. So like you're able to enjoy yourself. It's a party atmosphere, but you're not stressing out about, oh no, I lost my chair. I lost my table. And what's cool about the track is there's all these inside rules where if you put your chair up on a table, you can leave a purse, you can leave a phone, you can leave cash on the
The
table.
etiquette used
No
to be
one
if
goes
you put a
near
racing
it.
form on the
Yeah.
table, that it was yours.
It's yours.
Yeah.
No, but still, the chair thing has superseded that,
Yeah.
and people respect it. Like
And they
we were
do.
getting up, leaving. No one goes
No.
near your table.
And it's funny when there was a table where people did leave. It was so funny. I had a young lady approach me with her little group. She goes, "I think that table is gone and it's dirty. Would you mind clearing and wiping it for us?" I mean, it was so funny.
They're
like,
not
even-
sure.
and they were very polite about it. But it was great. We added those extra tables because we sell usually about 325 tickets online prior to opening,
Mhm.
and then we take about 30 or so walk-ins. So we cap out at about 350, and of course we always have a few comps and here and there and so forth. So, but I don't like to put more than 400 people in the room because at that point it does get a little overcrowded. But we do seating for about 300. The other 50 end up being either at the bar or sitting on the sofas and so forth. But providing seating for at least 75, 80% of the people that
Where'd
attend.
you work before Gulfstream?
Personally, for me, I was the assistant food and beverage director down at the Lowe's Miami Beach. for 4
Classy
years.
joint. Yes.
So
Great
great place,
place, great
800
place.
room property,
Jeez.
$36 million operation, huge
And
beast.
did a lot of stuff in connection with the
Yeah.
South Beach Wine
Food
and
and Wine
Food
Festival.
Festival. Yes.
Yeah, we did. And then prior to that was Ritz-Carlton Fort Lauderdale and Ritz-Carlton South Beach. So
See,
I
the
have
man who's
His
his
resume
class
is pretty
and he dresses
impressive.
for success. Unlike us, we're a bunch of schlubs that are trying to scrounge out a winning ticket somewhere. I don't know. Do you have any picks for either the
you
Oaks
get
today
involved?
or the Derby tomorrow?
well
Have
for the
you-
Derby tomorrow. I'm going to be loyal and go with the local horse and go with
Fierceness.
fierceness.
Okay.
Fierceness.
I really will. I mean, I think Sierra Leone has a good possibility as well,
Right.
but
We're all on with the wise guys because Chad Brown, who trains Sierra Leone, has another horse in the field that is 30-1 with Irad Ortiz Jr. on it, and actually ran second, I think, in the Holy Bull before winning the Tampa Bay Derby. And that horse is number 15 domestic product, 30-1 morning line. Chad Brown runner. That's the wise guy money angle that because I've noticed this year when Chad Brown has multiple runners. Always bet the higher price because those higher prices have been somehow doing
Cashing
better
in.
than the favorites. But you never know. It's those two, Fierceness and Sierra Leone, look like super horses. Wide open
Yeah.
race as usual. But
really,
you're gearing up for the Preakness. When are you going?
I fly up on Thursday.
Okay.
It's funny. We have a 2:00 phone call to go over all the food and beverage operations. So I'll be flying up on Thursday. We're doing some walkthroughs and so forth. And it'll give me about 10 days to kind of just put the finishing touches. And my colleague up there, Ruben's done a fantastic job. Former Ritz-Carlton guy like myself. We've known each other for 18 years. I was very lucky to actually placed him there.
We're going to miss
Nice.
you the next 2 weeks. When do we do the lunchbox at Pimlico? One of these.
That's a good idea.
Well, I'm not sure if you're aware, but of course, we've gone to an agreement with the Maryland Thoroughbred Racing Association. So Pimlico will eventually, and Laurel will go that way. I believe, what we're looking at right now is we're still going to operate the Preakness for next year because it'll be 150,
Mhm.
and that will be in Pimlico. And then at that point, Pimlico will go through
Massive renovation.
either a demolition and a rebuild or a massive renovation. And I believe Preakness will move to Laurel for a year or two until Pimlico is done. And then Pimlico will become a year-round racing facility.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
So
the
maybe
goal.
we can angle up there for a couple of crap picks when all is said and
Yeah,
done.
well, do it the next couple of years while I'm still going.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think
you know
once it
what?
goes, once it goes to the Maryland
We'll-
government, I don't think they'll be flying me up.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll make some arrangements.
We'll take
And,
advantage.
similar thing going on in New York with the Belmont. The third leg this year is actually going to be contested at Saratoga.
Toga.
Yeah.
Calling it the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga week. They're going to run 4 days of races, and it's going to be an interesting time. But,
it's gonna be
it's
interesting
time of
because
transition for
Special
racing.
track up in Saratoga.
It's exciting times,
it's a great
and we hope that whatever horse you have after this event, obviously this weekend with the Derby and all the festivities here, same thing for Preakness Saturday. You won't
Correct.
be here, but Tommy and your able
Yeah, they're
assistants,
Correct.
Charlie
Correct.
will be around,
Yep.
and
Full buffet, $75 for the Preakness.
that's on May 18th, Saturday the
And-
18th, 2 weeks after.
And then your
the
next
Derby.
taste of the track is then in June,
Correct. And tying it with Belmont,
Taste of New York.
Taste of New York.
which is great.
That'll be
So stoked for
yeah.
that.
So VIPs will be 95 and GA will be 75. Just a little bit of a $10 increase for this particular race because it is the Belmont. Taste of New York. We'll have a Chinatown station. We'll have a Little Italy station with pastas and meatballs, and then we'll have like a hot dog cart, street
You
food
have to,
station
yeah.
with knishes and hot dogs and toppings. I told them just make sure we have brown mustard and
Sauerkraut.
I need my Gouldens and sauerkraut.
Yeah.
It's not New York style.
Otherwise,
without
you're
that.
going to hear a lot of bitching and
Of
moaning.
course. I mean, I
It does,
had a
yeah.
lot of complaining last year when I put a Korean town station because I love Korean food. My
Yeah,
daughter
yeah,
loves
yeah.
Korean food, and
It's New York.
it's a burgeoning neighborhood in the Broadway and 32nd, 33rd Street, and everyone was like, "We can't even pronounce this word." I said, "What? Gochujang?" He said, "Yeah." I say, "We'll just call it Korean meatball next time." But anyway, I had my boss that said, "Please." He's like, "No Vietnam food." I said, "Well, it was Korean, but I see the confusion, So
We've
but
got
we're-
to broaden their horizons.
but we're
so,
gonna
yeah.
end up doing more of a sandwich station. We'll do
It's all good.
pastrami
Yeah, yeah,
and
deli,
like,
I mean, it's
like
New
maybe a
York.
gyro and so forth.
Well,
And then we'll have New York pizza on the main nosh
Nice.
buffet, as I like to call
I
it.
will. You can mark me down for that.
Yeah, I was gonna
Awesome.
say this is
Looking
like
forward.
automatic.
It's funny. I walked into the pastry shop. I said, "You are going to be the big hit of the Taste of the Belmont. You're going to do New York style cheesecakes. You're going to do cannolis, and I want black and white cookies." And then all of a sudden, he was following me until I said black and white cookies, and his face went blank.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Okay, let me Google.
Yeah.
I said this is a black and white cookie.
always-
I'll bring you some
It's
from
famous. It's very well
from
known.
You can always
QJ's or
call
something
up,
so you can see it.
call up our friend Brian at Wicked Cheesesteaks. His wife bakes
Yeah,
these
they're great.
black
They
and
do a
whites
great job
all the
with black and
time.
white
He could
cookies.
probably cook up.
They
make
always
a
have them
batch
there.
about
Yeah.
400 or 500 or 800.
Yeah.
And that'll be good stuff.
Farm it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, as always, thank you so
Pleasure,
much.
gentlemen.
Good luck to those Knights tonight.
Yes.
And you always have the Knicks for the
And you
next
got your
round.
Knicks.
And
I
you got
think
the
they're going to get to the
Ranger.
conference
You're a
finals.
Ranger fan,
I
too.
will.
And the Rangers are great.
If
Rangers.
or when the Knights get eliminated, I will revert to Rangers and to
And
Panthers.
Panthers, yeah.
Nice.
Now, if they face each other,
I don't know what the hell you do.
Danny's got a tough choice.
yeah, I have a tough
So,
choice on that.
We're
one.
going to miss each other. Actually, you're going away the next 2 Fridays that we're
Yes.
here. And then that Friday when you're going to be back, the show is going to go on, but I'm going to be in a little bubble by beaming in via remote from Tallahassee, where I have to go
Nice.
for my daughter's
Orientation.
freshman orientation.
Yeah.
But the show will go on,
I was
and I
just
will
there
be
this past
joining.
weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
That's
but
great.
we'll see each other through the computer in about 3 weeks from now. So,
Beautiful.
have fun up in Maryland.
Thank you.
Have a couple of crab cakes for
Yes,
me.
please.
Will do.
And we'll see
Definitely.
how the playoffs progress.
Bring us
from
back
there.
a crab cake.
Yeah,
There
Sure.
you go.
I'll have them shipped down.
Before we go to
They're
the last break, let me just put in a kind word about our friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse. It is the place you're going to want to take mom for Mother's Day. It's coming up, believe it or not, just a week from this Sunday, May 12th. They're open 1 to 8 p.m. They still have availability in the books, not for all times anymore, depending on the size of your party, but you can still get in there. You know, sometimes just make it on the earlier side, get it out of the way. Not that it's, an obligation or anything, but 954-989-2500.
You want to take that back a little bit?
You want to treat mom whenever time she wants. Try to get her in there. You'll be fine. 954-989-2500. And then right after Mother's Day, Monday the 13th, it's the return of the Twin Lobster
Yes.
special. And I am just giddy with the news.
They kept the price at
Everything
$39.
else is going up, but they have held the line. Twin lobsters from Maine with a side and a salad. $39, the same as last year. And I know like places in Fort Lauderdale, they're charging $42 for Twin Lobsters.
Yeah.
But they have held the line because they are, the home of great value,
Yep.
along with quality food and tremendous service. We love Tropical Acres. 75 years they've been in business. The Studiali
They
family
must be doing something
will
right.
take great
Yes,
care of
they do.
you when you go in there. Get your lobsters, get your half-price wine on Mondays and Tuesdays, get your happy hour in the bar Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 6:30, and don't forget your loyalty reward club card. For every 12 entrees that you purchase, you get the 13th one on the house. All those things, you can't beat it. It's tremendous. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
After this, we
We will
end
wrap it
our
up.
week.
Yeah.
We end our day here, but the day goes on. It is Oaks Days up in Kentucky. Live racing all day long here, all day long tomorrow at Gulfstream Park. 10 Palms, more Mike Mayo's Lunchbox after this.
Best restaurants in South Florida? Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First class dining, top flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you.
Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Be one of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. Are you looking for a good New York-style slice? How about lunch specials for under $9 that come with garlic rolls and a fountain drink? I'm talking about Stromboli Pizza Kitchen in the Fountains of Plantation, 801 South University Drive. Since 1987, it's been home to Brooklyn-style pies and slices, heroes and paninis, pastas, and all your Italian-American favorites. It's got the unpretentious vibe of the pizza places of my youth with daily specials, family dinners, outdoor seating, eat-in, carry-out, or delivery. Open 7 days a week. Go to strombolispizza.com to place your order today.
All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and before we get to our picks, I just got to put in the final word about the 954 Burger Month that we kicked off this past week. Events.
How is there still a slider left during
Well,
Burger
I
Month?
For
had
one of
one.
you gentlemen.
I think
Wow.
Lubie had one.
I had
I
one.
think you might have to go for a
They were
second
when
one.
they came out. They were hot and
Yeah.
juicy,
They were
and
nice.
I
Yeah.
peeled off the top bun, and it was delicious. Open-faced burger, and you
Nice.
can find a lot of delicious burgers around town
I'll forward
for
this one.
Burger Month. Go online to 954burgermonth.com to see the full heat map of all the places that are offering burgers. They're all offering up some different special varieties and concoctions, and there's some big events coming up. Some of them are free with our friend Burger Beast, like May 8th, which is going to be at the North-South Grill
Wednesday.
in Pembroke Pines. Another one on the 15th at this food truck burger shop in the Wilton Manors, and then the big ticketed event with our friends at Gilbert's 17th Street Grill on Sunday,
The
May
19th.
19th. You're going to have all kinds of great burgers and other treats at that event. Go online to vlfoodwine.com or 954burgermonth.com to get your tickets today. And last but not least, our friends at Delaware Chicken and Seafood. This is a man who knows about their chickens. And
It's unbelievable. I mean, the difference. I just love that sign, no hormones. And then after going to Costco, you know, describing that experience, where literally, I mean, they had to be getting these chickens from the Balco Labs. Such a pleasure to eat the Delaware chicken farm.
Unadulterated, fresh, plump,
Product.
juicy.
Yeah.
And if you're going to have a derby party this week or with
Yeah.
other, you know, it's going to be grill season
Get your
soon.
proteins.
Get your proteins there. The great, fish and shrimp and all kinds of
Steaks.
seafood.
Wow.
Of course, Tony loves those house-made sausages, turkey, chicken, and traditional
The
pork
dips are
sausages.
great.
You can't beat it. You
Cash.
can't beat it.
$41.91.
All the signs you need,
North
too.
State Road 7. All right, I got some late word in from Joe Beja. Said the green decoration here is simply flour, water, olive oil, and salt. So basically,
So it is
it's,
edible.
it's matzah.
Actually,
It's green matzah
Yeah.
with the shrimp cocktail. All right, here we go. You have any kind of picks? Well, I guess you already mentioned that other people.
We're going with the Polyman selections, the king of the ball, all futures. Uses a 15 and the 8.
Yeah, okay.
Just a touch or something like that.
It is the second one
Yeah.
is
15
just a touch for Laurent
The
Giroux.
15 and the 8.
All right. My favorite. Well, Tony, do you have anything?
8
yet?
would be the top choice. Though.
I like
Yeah.
Sierra, not Sierra Leone, the other horse.
Fierceness 17. Fierceness 17.
Fierceness.
He's breaking out of the 16 post because of that scratch. So don't believe anything you hear about any kind of jinx for the 17 post position, because he's breaking from post 16, which has won multiple derbies. Okay, my favorite bet of the year, Defo, is the Oaks Derby double. Whereas, and one of my favorite things to do is try to pick the winner. I'm going to use 2 horses in today's Oaks, and then you wheel them with all and hope for a bomber, and also play some heavy ones on the chalk. So in today's Kentucky Oaks, because it's a sloppy track, I think one that is not to be overlooked is number 15. Again, 15 is the key number in both races. Our Pretty Woman, Joel Rosario for Steve Asmussen, 2 for 2 on a wet track. He is listed at 15-1 in the morning line, and actually that's live odds, I think. So we've got that, the 15 horse, along with number 5, Torpedo Anna, and that's trained by Kenny McPeak. My friend is an assistant to Kenny McPeak. They like this horse a lot. So I'm going to do 5-15 in the Oaks with all in the Derby, and then go some heavy $5 doubles, 5 and 15 with 2, 5, 8, 15, and 17. So there you have it. It's on the record. We'll see if I'm just awash in money on Monday or Sunday, actually. Maybe I'll be buying tequila shots for everybody on Sunday.
Sunday. You call us.
Lubie, do you have any thoughts?
I respect Polyman and also Dave Gurgles Gurgly. If you watch our morning show at all, both like Just a Touch. And something we've learned in the past is if people you like are on the same page, I tend to lean their way. But if you're doing boxes, I wouldn't look. I get it, chalk sucks, but the way Fierceness is run and Sierra Leone is run, I wouldn't leave both of them out. If you want to leave one out, fine, but I'd pick one of those 2 to throw in there. And I get it, it's massive chalk, but look, if you do Just a Touch and some of these other horses, you'll get your bombs in there. Fierceness, I feel like you're going to be pissed if it gets on the places in some way. So I wouldn't leave out one of those 2. And I like Just a Touch. I would go Just a Touch to me.
Well, that's better than hearing it from Andy Meyer.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's amazing how far Lubie's come from the days he said, what track? Where did he run there?
Food and horses. Yeah. He has really stepped up his game. And he's got nothing better to do now that the Heat have been bounced out of the playoffs.
The playoffs are done.
That's it. All right, we'll see everybody. Come on out Sunday to Plantation Walk for their big Cinco de Mayo celebration. And otherwise, we'll be back on Monday with a special edition. We're going up to a place in Boynton Beach. We're traveling, a place called Driftwood. A really talented chef named Jimmy Everett, not Chris Everett's dad. But that'll be Monday. And until then, everybody have a great weekend. May the horse be with you.
Yes.
And enjoy every sandwich.
Good luck on the Derby.